Didn't your mama warn you about playing with people beneath you? The Toronto Raptors were clearly the underdogs going into this series. I'm going to be honest with you. Versus the Philadelphia 76ers, a lot of times in that series, it felt like Kawhi Leonard or else. Now all of a sudden, they go up against this big dog, the team that's been number one throughout the regular season, the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo and all these shooters that the Bucks got. The Bucks come out and win games 1 and games 2. Many of us thought this series would be over in 4, no later than 5, the way the Bucks were playing. But all of a sudden, the Bucks allow the Raptors to get a little bit of that home cooking and Drake music. They win game 3. Now we're here at game 4. It's 2-1, and the Bucks are looking to put the Raptors away in 5. Raptors looking to tie this thing up at 2 and make it a best-of-3 series. Let's head to the 6 for this highlight of Game 4, ladies and gentlemen. After a 12-point, did have 25 rebounds, outing in Game 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo came out the gate more offensively focused, getting off. Look at that little Euro step and jam. To be able to Euro step and jam, you're just too athletic, too tall, too great. More Giannis down the lane. But trust and believe, the Raptors were ready to go. And it wasn't just Kawhi Leonard in this one. It was a multitude of options. I highlight this block for a reason. Look at this block here, Giannis Antetokounmpo on Norman Powell. It seems like right after this block, the Toronto Raptors bench woke up. Serge Ibaka with the rebound and the put back. Norman Powell out the corner. He'll miss the 3. Look at this right here, though. More Ibaka working, jamming it home. It's a big boy jam there. Rebound, get it back, and score. It was pretty much the Toronto Raptors bench versus Chris Middleton in the second quarter as Middleton drains the 3. Now other end, Powell, find it. Fred VanVleet, my X factor for this series. He's been a no-show thus far. He finally wakes up in game 4, drills the 3. More Ibaka. So I got 18 from Powell, 17 from Ibaka, and 13 from VanVleet. A 3-ball there. The Raptors are up 9 points here. A minute to go in the second quarter. It's Chris Middleton spotting up and drilling the 3. Boy, did he have himself a ball game, a bounce-back game for him as well. He had 30. Oh, my goodness, in the third quarter, as Kawhi Leonard is limping, he jams it home right in the grill of Giannis Antetokounmpo. They would call that a poster, I believe. Oh, man. These stars are going at it. Other end, Giannis with the score. Now Middleton to get the look for 3. It's a 7-point game. The Raptors kept building momentum. The Bucks kept it close. And you thought right here, as the Bucks get that lead down to 6, they were ready to make their run and likely close out this game. As Giannis misses the free throw very badly, Drake is eating it up, man. Superstar Drake enjoying the festivities as his Raptors team finally giving him something to cheer for. He let Giannis Antetokounmpo hear it with the light little troll. It's a 7-point game. The Raptors will gain more momentum as Powell drills the 3. Now off to Kawhi Leonard, who gets the 2. Powell's like, that was cool, but I want some more of that. Let me get some more. The lead is now 16 after Powell's 3, heading into the 4th, and the Bucks would never be the same. It's time to close this thing out, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves a series. Fred VanVleet called glass at night in Toronto. Still a 16-point game. Kyle Lowry's like, let me get that. 3-ball of his own. Lowry had 25 points to lead the Raptors. And Kawhi Leonard, not his best game. Definitely hurt. But that 3 there closed it out. And ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Raptors by a final score of 120-102 tie this thing up at 2 games. Now we're going back to Milwaukee, and we will see, can a team win a road game in this series. Let's just call it what it is. The Bucks got 2 games at home. Here's my thing. I will say this. If it gets to a game 7, like we saw Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors versus the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm going to take the perimeter guys over a team like Giannis, who, again, they got shooters, but a lot of it is contingent on if Giannis playing great. And I don't know if Giannis can play great in a Game 7 format at this stage of his career. I don't know yet, and then we'll see. But if I'm the Bucks, my thought process is we win Game 5 and we win Game 6 in Toronto. Remember, I picked the Bucks to win this in 6 games. Again, after game 2, I'm thinking this thing might be over in 4 or 5. But originally, my pick, for anybody that watched my preview and predictions, thank y'all so much, I picked the Bucks in 6. So in my mind, I am thinking the Bucks gonna wake up. I thought they played decent ball last night, but I mean, you know, the Raptors they got a lot of production from their bench, and that hadn't been there. Thing is, the Raptors bench had been there all year for them. You know, who's gonna wake up? I would tend to believe the Bucks when they get some home cooking. We've seen a big game from Giannis and Chris Middleton. They're gonna have some other guys step up. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Eric Bledsoe just signed a 4-year, $70 million deal. What was that, in March? Right before the season ended. And he's been a no-show. I think his highest point production in this series thus far has been 11 through 4 games. He's not been good. Not $70 million worth of good. I just don't know what I'm getting from Eric Bledsoe night in, night out. Like Kyle Lowry really went at him last game. Like that can't happen. Look, if Kyle Lowry has 20 points, that's cool. Eric Bledsoe's athletic enough to stop Kyle Lowry. I'm not saying Eric Bledsoe's got to go give me 25 points, but he's athletic enough to put a stop to anything Kyle Lowry's trying to do. And with that being said, I really believe that the Bucks got to do some soul searching, or they will find themselves at the crib. We've compared Giannis Antetokounmpo a lot to a young LeBron James in that Cleveland Cavaliers team the first go around. This might be Giannis Antetokounmpo facing that LeBron James moment where he loses to a Paul Pierce Boston Celtics team, right? This could be his series. This could be his, against Kawhi Leonard. This could be his Paul Pierce, LeBron James type moment. He has to go back to the drawing board and find himself again. I don't know. We'll see what Giannis is made of. Right now, Kawhi's been better than Giannis, and I know Kawhi was limping in Game 4, but all the time for me personally, I'm gonna take the perimeter guy over the guy who's more or less trying to dominate a game Shaq style, right? Like Kawhi Leonard has been better than Giannis in this series, more effective than Giannis in this series, more timely baskets than Giannis in this series. Giannis has been incredible defensively, but let's make it clear. Kawhi has carried that Raptors team for about 2-3 games, and he finally got a lot of help in Game 4, and we find this thing tied at 2. Powell was huge. Powell's been really good for the Raptors in the playoffs. He's been really good. I think, Fred VanVleet has been pretty non-existent, but Powell has kind of overlooked that. He's kind of overshadowed that. And now I'm getting production from Powell and VanVleet. I still got the Bucks, but I'm just saying this series is very interesting now. Thank y'all so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. The Bucks lose Game 4 and now go back home. That Milwaukee fan base is going to be like, yo, what happened? Man, Kawhi and the Raptors happened, all right? The 6 happened. Thank y'all so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV. Here with the triple B's. You can't do nothing but win.